Clearly, I'm not in the right room. Who knows? I might end up in here all year. I'm not even sure.
To be fair, I thought I was going to get my gaming room set up in March, and it's literally August.
It's the 4th year of us doing this in a row, so we just got to go bigger this year. We're going to have more videos this year. We're going to go back to picking every team again this year. But one thing that's not going to change. I'm going for the 4-peat.
This is where, again, I'm going to give you some live action. This is where you zoom in on me.
What is going on, guys? Welcome back to another fantastic season of Nick's Picks, the most consistent thing on this YouTube channel. If you haven't been in tune lately, Twitch has been very consistent. We've been live over there pretty much every day, doing a whole lot of Madden leagues, whole lot of Fortnite. If you guys haven't followed over on Twitch, go do so now. But it's season 4 of Nick's Picks, and as every other year, I am joined by Ben. Ben, as mentioned in the intro, you're still waiting for your first Nick's Picks victory. So you managed to come back for a 4th season in a row, trying to claim that first crown. Is this the year? Is this? Are you finally doing this?
I don't know if it's more on me or more on you, because let's be honest, who else would you have besides me?
Mike?
More entertaining.
Hopefully this is your year. Hopefully this is your year.
I don't know. Hopefully I can pick a team that has a healthy quarterback all the way through. That's the only real reason I lost. I mean,
well, season 4 is going to be the biggest season of Nick's Picks yet. We have normally done each week, we do a video where we pick our picks, we get a score or whatever, and then you don't see us again until next Thursday where we complain about this stuff. This year, there's going to be a lot more videos. We're going to, maybe not consistently every single week, but I'm going to have a lot more videos in between the picks each year that are all going to be part of Nick's Picks. It's basically just going to be the both of us talking football. Maybe sometimes it's just me talking football if Ben's not available that day. But either way, we are going to have more videos this year. Nick's Picks is going to be bigger. We're going to go back to picking each game each week this season. The point scoring is going to be a little bit different, but we'll get into all that when we actually start picking week 1 and all that. But right now, we have the preseason picks, and typically I've always split this up into 2 videos. I'm not 100% sure how long this is going to end up being, if I should split it up into 2 videos, but every other year we've always had this be crucial towards our picks. We would have our preseason picks count towards the final score at the end of the year. I haven't told you this yet, but we're not going to do that because we suck at preseason picks. I think everybody in the NFL sucks at preseason picks. Nobody can predict anything. Injuries happen, and I kind of wanted to be wild with some of my picks this year. So,
to be fair, we actually did better last year than the previous previous year we did it. So last year we did pretty good.
Hey, we're slowly.
I'm okay with it.
We're slowly getting better at this Nick's Picks thing. We're slowly learning more about football. We're gonna go north, south, east, west, starting with the AFC North, and we're gonna kind of go backwards in order. So we're gonna go both at a time here. Our number 4 team, the 4th best team in the AFC North, I have the Pittsburgh Steelers. I have them finishing 6-11 this year. And I'm going to assume you're the same.
No, but
No.
we are, I will say this, we are the same in Pittsburgh losing that streak of having 100, or was it?
Winning
above
seasons.
500. With you on that. I have the Browns. I have them as the 4th team in this division.
There's a lot of people that have the Browns winning this division, so that's tough.
It's just, I will say this. The biggest X factor is Deshaun Watson. I'm not saying he's worse than Kenny Pickett, but at least Kenny Pickett has comparable stuff around him, and he, towards the end of last season, started to kind of get in his own. He started to feel for the game a little bit.
So moving on, number 3 in the division, since you're going to have the Browns in 4th in this division, I technically do have this team tied with like the same record as the team I have finishing 2nd in this division, but I have them 3rd because I just think they're going to fall slightly below this team, whether or not they finish the same record or not. But I actually have the Baltimore Ravens. And the main reason I have Baltimore this low in the AFC North, you cannot tell me that the chemistry between Lamar Jackson and this team is good. You can't tell me that. And even if it is good, Lamar Jackson has to be the most, like, out of any quarterback in the NFL, out of all 32 quarterbacks in the NFL, if you're going to say that which quarterback is most likely to miss 33% of this season, Lamar Jackson.
Yeah, like I said before, I got the Steelers.
Pittsburgh,
I got the Steelers. Yeah, I got him 8 and 9. I do. It's close. I think it's gonna be because it's still Mike Tomlin coaching that team.
And rounding out the NFC North or the AFC North, because I mean, if I'm going to say two, I might as well say one here. Like I said, this team is going to be tied with my third place team, but I just have them slightly better. Is the Cleveland Browns? I think that the Cleveland Browns are going to finish second in this division. I mean, they got a full year with Deshaun Watson. He's going to be better than he was last year. Nick Chubb, in my opinion, is going to be one of the best running backs in the league this upcoming season, and they have a good defense. And I don't think the Bengals lose this division yet. I still think this is very much their division to lose, and I have them in first with an 11-6 record.
So I will tell you this right now. I have this team barely squeaking out the division, and that is Baltimore Ravens. I have the Ravens at 1, and I have the Bengals at 2 by literally like basically a game. I have the Ravens at 13-4 and the Bengals at 12-5. I think they'll split the season, and the Ravens play them the second time, and I think that's going to be pivotal, excuse me.
Pivotal.
Oh
my God. On to the next one. So we move on to the NFC North, and this is a division that I kind of hummed and hawed over a little bit. And even between, I think my third and fourth place team, I could teeter-totter them, and my first and second place team, I could teeter-totter them. But like, there's a gap between 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. That's pretty much how I see this NFC North.
So we're on the same page there.
Let's start with 3 and 4 here. May not be in this order, but you have Bears Packers at those bottom two, I would assume. Okay. Yeah. But do you have the Packers at number 4?
I do have the Packers.
I also have the Packers. I have them finishing 5 and 12 on the season, and the Bears just slightly better at 6 and 11.
So do I.
Because, look, Justin Fields is a good quarterback. He's going to have a decent season. Jordan Love is not. I don't believe in Jordan Love at all. The Packers have a much better defense. I'll give them that. But they just lost so much on offense. All they have is Aaron Jones.
I think the Bears with Fields will take a next step because he has DJ Moore. But
the 1-2 here. Now, this is where I'm pretty sure we're going to differ because I think you have the Lions winning this division. And I don't think that the Vikings are giving it up quite yet. And it's mainly because I know Kirk Cousins is the quarterback of the Minnesota Vikings, but Jared Goff is the quarterback of the Detroit Lions. So it's one of those things where Kirk Cousins is... Yes, Goff has a Super Bowl under his belt, or a appearance under his belt, I should say. I just feel like the experience of Kirk Cousins is still better, and the play of Kirk Cousins, especially over the last couple of years, is still better.
Yeah, I will give you that. Kirk Cousins is Mr. Consistent. He is consistently like either average or slightly above average. I would argue the Vikings have a better defense, but I think this Lions team got the pieces. I think they'll take the next step above Minnesota in that one. But I do think it's going to be very close.
I had a good feeling that we were going to differ on that one. I didn't think you were going to pick the Ravens, considering everything that happened this offseason, but I had a good feeling.
I really do think that Odell will help them. But
so, we have the two worst divisions in football, both residing in the Southern divisions of the National Football League. It's the AFC South and the NFC South. The AFC South, they have one shining team, and there's a couple I don't want to say a whole bunch of turds, because the Texans could be on their way up. You know, the Colts, you don't know. I don't trust their owner right now. We're starting with the AFC South here. We're starting with the worst team in the AFC South, and I just mentioned them. They're the Indianapolis Colts, in my opinion. I think they're going to finish at a 4-13 record, because, look, Anthony Richardson, he might be great. He might be a good quarterback. Not in year one. Not with this roster. Not with this owner. Your best player on this football team, Jonathan Taylor, is probably, I shouldn't even say probably, most likely not going to be there. Finishing at 4-13. And then my third place team, I have just above them, the Tennessee Titans. I think like they've been on such a decline lately, and I think this season hits them the hardest. They don't finish last in this division, and I don't even have them that much under 500. They're at 7-10, but yeah, Tennessee and Indy bottom out this division for me.
I am with you on the Titans. I have them 4th. I don't believe... I'm a big Derrick Henry fan. I'm a big Derrick Henry fan. But what else is on that offense?
But that's what I have about the Colts.
Exactly.
But that's my point about the Colts. What do they have?
I believe more in the Colts. But okay, so the Titans really don't have much. I have them like 3-14. I have above them barely is the Texans, because like the Titans, who do they have around CJ Stroud? I think CJ Stroud will be great. This doesn't have anything around him.
I'll get to it. Oh, you're done. Okay.
I was like, you told me to hurry up. Well, because there's like really nothing.
Well,
I can talk there.
Well, obviously, obviously, I have the Texans finishing second in this division because the Jaguars are the shining team that we were talking about earlier.
Yeah.
If you don't have the Jaguars finishing first in the AFC South, you're probably either banking on a Trevor Lawrence injury or something along those lines. But the record, I'm not even going to say it yet. We'll get to that when we get to the standings later in the whole AFC. You see it down below. You people watching the video, but for you, Ben, I'll get to what I have the Jaguars record at later. But the Texans, even finishing at second in this division, I have them at 8-9. Like Dameon Pierce is a huge weapon, I think, for the for the Houston Texans. They got a couple of rookie wide receivers. Their defense showed a lot of signs of spark near the end of the season. So I think the Texans could make a little bit of a turnaround. I don't think they're going to do anything special this year.
I have the Colts at second, mainly because I do think Anthony Richardson will do solid. I think it's going to suck. I'm with you that I don't think Jonathan Taylor is going to play, but I think their team is good enough to where, and they also play the NFC South, so it's kind of like a lot of
wins.
Yeah, I got the Jags win the division. It's not even close. They got a very complete team basically. They got offense, defense, running. They got everything they need.
So for the NFC South, this is Ben's division, and we'll get to his team here in a second. We'll start with the bottom of the division. I think it's clear. I think it's very widely accepted around the league that now that Tom Brady's gone and a lot of other key pieces of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are gone from their championship run just a couple of years ago, that Tampa is going to have a rough season at 3-14. And I think there's a good shot Tampa gets the number one pick over Arizona near the end of the season. Spoiler alert for my NFC West predictions. But third place with the same record as the team in second place, I would like to preface that I still do have the Atlanta Falcons because the Panthers did more this offseason. They just did. They did more to their offense. They added Adam Thielen. They added Miles Sanders. They worked on it. And yet, you got Desmond Ridder. So that's my thing. I have the Falcons at 3. And then we'll get to Panthers Saints in a second. But
I think the Panthers will be the worst team because it's still a rookie quarterback. You don't typically see a rookie quarterback do great. I think Bryce Young is a young stud. I think he has good weapons around him. I just think he's going to struggle. And plus, I get it. I don't like talking about it, but he is smaller. And then I got third. I got Tampa, just a game above them, really. Kicker is...
So you got the Falcons in the top 2 in this division.
And I'll explain...
And I have them tied with the Panthers. I'm not going to lie to you. Because I have the Panthers at 2.
I will explain.
I have the Panthers at 2. I think Bryce Young's going to have a decent season. Still at 7-10, just like the Atlanta Falcons, and in first place in this division. And I don't think this is too arguable. And if you are really going to pick the Atlanta Falcons to win this division, I think you're just a homer. I think it's the New Orleans Saints. They have the best quarterback in this division. They have the best roster in this division. They have the best defense in this division. Almost argue they have the best head coach in this division because who else is in this fucking division? So I have the Saints finishing at 10-7. They could probably finish better than 10-7 with the easy schedule that they have in front of them. But if you're literally about to sit here and say that the Falcons are winning this NFC South, then we need to end the video now.
Hi guys.
Why? Give me one solid reason why the Falcons will win this division.
You said that the Panthers had a better offseason. Let me remind you, Atlanta got Jesse Bates, arguably one of the best safeties in the league. Calais Campbell, yes, get it, he's older, but he's still a solid run stuffer. And Desmond Ridder is still an unknown, which I am taking the gamble on that I think...
He's as unknown as Jordan Love is. Neither of us are very high on Jordan Love.
I'm taking the... You got Kyle Pitts if they use him properly. I'm still not happy about Bijan Robinson, but you got 3 good running backs in Patterson, Bijan, and then Tyler Allinger. So I have both the Saints and Falcons at 11-6. I have it coming down to the last of the season.
11-6. You really have the Falcons at 11-6.
Because they still play the AFC South.
All right, so we're on to the AFC East. Now, this is a very, very controversial division. There's a lot that can happen in this division, and it could still be one of the better divisions in football. Bottoming out this division, I still think, is the New England Patriots, just where they finished last year. I don't think they did enough. I think Mac Jones is no longer an unknown. I think he's pretty well known that he's just not it. And I have them finishing 5-12. That's got to be one of Belichick's worst worst seasons.
Yeah, I have them worse. I have them 2-15.
Nice. Cool. My third place team. I've never been very high on this team. I wish I was higher on them because I really do like their head coach, but I've never been all that high on this team. And I have a strong feeling you have this team winning this division, but I have the Miami Dolphins finishing third in this division. I have them at an 8-9 record. One of the things is I'm not a huge Tua believer. Everything that's happened, and it's not his fault. I get it, but it is what it is. And I want to wait for 2-1.
I got the Jets. I got them third, and I will say this right now. I do have them have a winning record. They are 10-7. Spoiler, I don't have them making the playoffs. It's more so the fact that I think the AFC is just so stacked. Like I have like the Bengals and Ravens in the North. It's just the division they're in.
Do we both have the Bills winning this division? Because you know damn well, the Buffalo Bills supporter over here doesn't have the Bills winning the division. I don't.
You got the okay. I want to hear your reasoning for the Jets.
It's not so much that I have a reasoning for the Jets as much as I have a reasoning for the Bills not winning this division.
Okay.
I went through the Bills' schedule. They got a tough schedule. I only had 9 games in the Buffalo schedule that I could look at and be like, that's a definite win. All of the other games were subjective. All of them. So, and the Bills tend to struggle at points during the season. They're still going to get their way into the playoffs because they're still a good team. But I have the Bills finishing 10-7 because of that tough schedule. Because otherwise, I think they're fairly even rosters. I think the Jets have had a fairly good defense the last couple of years, only getting better. They got a very young team around Aaron Rodgers on the offensive side of the football. And Aaron Rodgers is still a great quarterback. I have the Jets at 11-6. And the Bills at 10-7.
I got, obviously, no shocker. My two teams are the Bills and Dolphins. And I have the Bills winning this one. I have them winning it at 13-4. And I have the Dolphins at 11-16. Mainly because I am banking on Tua being fully healthy. I will say this now for full transparency. If Tua gets hurt, or even like a game or two, Jets are the second best team. But Buffalo's just been the more consistent team. And I am rocking more with consistency over just a hypothetical with either Miami or New York.
Bills fans, please just stick around. My redemption's coming. Now it's a division I don't want to talk about a whole lot. Now we have the NFC East. And I think, once again, I think we can have a common consensus here that number 4 and number 1 are not very arguable, right? The Eagles.
Yeah.
I guess you could argue number 1 a little bit. We'll get to why. But number 4, I think, is the Commanders. I think we all kind of know that.
No, it's the Eagles. Fuck Philly.
Yeah,
I wish. No, I wish. I wish. I have them at 5-12.
Okay.
I have the Commies because they still got a good defense.
And do you have the Eagles at 1? I have them at 14-3.
Oh, I have them at 13-4. So pretty close.
Pretty close.
Now
I have the Giants with I have the Giants with a winning record. Okay. But like you said with the New York Jets, even with that winning record, I don't think it's going to get them into the playoffs. But that's okay. Because this team is still on the rebuild. We're not there yet. We're clearly not there yet. The Cowboys could win this division. They have the talent to win this division. If the last 27 years of my life have taught me anything, is that don't pick the Cowboys. Just don't do it. Like, if you're going to put your word on the line on something, the last 27 years have told me not to put it on the Cowboys. So I had a feeling we were going to have the same. Like, this division wasn't going to be too different. Eagles, Cowboys, Giants, Commanders.
Yeah, I got the Cowboys. I do have the Cowboys making the playoffs because I do think because they do have a good defense. Mm-hmm. It's Dallas, dude. Even if they win the division or got the 1 seed, they're gonna lose that anyway.
We move on to the AFC West and the NFC West, and these were the two divisions that we thought going into last season that they were going to be the powerhouses. It was going to be. These were the two divisions that were going to be the hardest to pick. This year, I do think it's going to change a little bit. I think they're going to get back to their winning ways. I think both these divisions aren't going to be as bad as they were last year. But bottoming out the AFC West, I think it's not very arguable that the Las Vegas Raiders just ain't it.
Oh, I'm ready to argue.
You're ready to argue. You have the Broncos. All right.
Because I'll explain my reasoning.
Yeah.
I think Sean Payton could fix what happened last year with Denver because no one could do as bad a job coaching as Hackett did. Oh, Sean Payton. And they have a good defense. It's the same thing. It's the same way how I feel about the Browns with Deshaun Watson.
It was proven near the end of last season by how the Broncos started to play after Hackett got fired that he was their only problem. Yeah.
I do have the Raiders slightly above them at 6-11 compared to 5-12 for the Broncos. So it's only like I have the Raiders slightly better, but it's the same reason.
And then you'll have the Chargers at 2 and the Chiefs at 1, obviously, because the Chiefs best team. Okay.
The Chiefs. Yeah.
But see, out of every team in this division besides the Raiders, I think if anyone has proven to us that we shouldn't believe in them, it's the Los Angeles Chargers. So I actually have the Los Angeles Chargers at 3 and the Denver Broncos at 2 and the Chiefs at 1, because what the fuck happened to Los Angeles? Like, they have such a talented roster. They're like the Cowboys.
I believe in Justin Herbert. I believe in Austin Eckler. I believe that they can get it together and win games. I don't trust them in the postseason like the Cowboys, but I do think regular season-wise, they will get it together.
And rounding out with the NFC West, obviously, we're both going to agree on this. Bottoming out this division, the Arizona Cardinals. They're doo-doo. There's nobody good on this team. Seriously?
No, I'm just saying. No, I'm saying.
I
how
thought
bad do you think?
you were looking at me like, no, I'm not going to say Arizona. They're not the worst team in this division.
I want to know how bad you have them, because.
Oh, I have them at 3-14.
Oh, remember I said the Patriots are what, 2-15?
Did you have them?
I have the Cardinals at 1-16.
1-16. Damn.
Because.
Okay, I thought you were going to argue with me on this. As long as we're on agreement.
One game. I think they can win one game.
Now it gets interesting though. Because now I have the Los Angeles Rams at above 500 at the 3rd spot in this division. I do think that the Rams are going to have a better season than last year. I think last year was just kind of like all over the place. Injuries kept hurting them. There's a lot of things that went wrong.
I have Seattle at 3rd.
It's close. I have Seattle at 2nd at 10-7. Like just a game ahead.
I have them at 6-11 because I.
You don't believe in Geno?
I think that was just a one-hit wonder type season because he hasn't been consistent. And to be fair, it was on the Jets.
You think the Rams come back to a 2nd place finish, or did you put
9-8?
Okay, all right. I was going to say, you don't have them above the 49ers. That's all I cared about.
Because I agree with you. Injuries. Cooper Kupp was injured. Matthew Stafford was injured. Like literally all their key players are injured. So we 2 and 3, but obviously the Niners have such a talented team.
So that rounds out all the divisions. Real quick, I'm going to pop them up on the screen here, the AFC and the NFC standings that we both had. And the one thing that I haven't said yet to Ben that he doesn't quite know about my standings, because if you guys have been paying attention with all the records and stuff like that, you should already pretty much know the standings. The Chiefs weren't my 1 seed in the AFC. I think that because a certain AFC South team has to play their own division 6 times and then play an entire NFC South division that's garbage, I think there's a strong chance that the Jacksonville Jaguars finish this season with a 13-4 record and take the number 1 seed from the Kansas City Chiefs and that first round bye. We're not going to go through all of the playoff rounds. We both just kind of did it in our head. Went through all my matchups. I was like, okay, 49ers are playing the Seahawks. I got the 49ers winning this one. Okay. And I ended out with the Chiefs and the Eagles playing each other in the Super Bowl. But that's boring. But I just want it on record that I think I think we're getting a rematch this year. But this is Nick's picks, and this doesn't count for points anymore. So I wanted to go a little ballsy with this one.
Lions, Jaguars.
I think the only other team in the NFC that can compete with the Eagles to go to the Super Bowl is the San Francisco 49ers. I think they're the only team that can put up a fight. The Lions could maybe put up a Cinderella run. The Cowboys could finally get their year, I guess. But that's really it. like I can't even sit here and lie and say that the Giants could make a Cinderella run, or the Falcons could make a Cinderella run, or hell, even the Saints or the Vikings. Like I can't even, like, as good as the Vikings are every year, I can't see them in the Super Bowl. I just can't. So it's the 49ers for me. They're the only team that I can see in the NFC. And I told you, Buffalo fans, to just wait for me. I'd come back around to you. I'd make my way through. I just thought to myself, if it's not the Chiefs, it's going to have to be a team that's got the best story around them. And what team going to the Super Bowl would make the best story? And it's Buffalo. It's always been Buffalo. The last 3 years, they've had this script right in front of them, ready to be written. And they fuck it up every fucking year, every fucking postseason. And I'm gonna go ahead and give it to them. I think the Bills win Super Bowl 58, 33-31 over the San Francisco 49ers, mainly because it's going to come down to a shootout, and I trust Josh Allen over whoever ends up being there by the end of the season.
Well, I will say this right now. Do I get Buffalo hater again for not having them in it? But whatever.
You had them win the division, which I didn't think you would. So
I will say this now. You are right in that's the story. I'll also remind you that the last 3 years that we've done this, you've had Buffalo trying to go to Super Bowl, and every single year, it falls short.
Also remind you that you say you're going to win every year and you don't. But
I am with you. I actually didn't have the Eagles or the Chiefs making it to the Super Bowl, mainly because I think it's when you take that deep playoff run, it is so hard to go back. The last repeat Super Bowl champion we had, was the Patriots back in 03, 04. Having said that, I think if Brock Purdy stays healthy, I love the Niners. I really like the Niners. They got a great team. They got a great.
I feel like
really good team.
I feel like everything I said is just
repeating.
Like it could be so wrong, but it just I don't understand how anyone can see anyone but the Eagles or the Niners in the Super Bowl.
AFC, it is a bloodbath. It is tough. You know who has proven it that they can go through it toe to toe with anyone that steps to them outside of Mahomes. Joe Shiesty, because he was one defensive lineman away from winning the AFC Championship game. I have the Bengals winning it, but the Niners, I think, have just the better defense, better star talent. And I like Jamar Chase. I like Joe Burrow. I like they have a great team. It's a great, like you said, a great story. The Bengals haven't won jack shit until Joe Burrow and basically Jamar Chase. This Niners team, it's one of those, it's kind of like Buffalo. They just need that one little spark, and it's really from their quarterback. And I have the Niners winning the Super Bowl 30-28, a close game. I think the Niners defense shuts down the Bengals, and it sucks because I really like Joe
I think
Burrow.
What people don't understand about the 49ers is, as much as I just said about the Chiefs, how they're, basically our new Patriots, they're there every year, can't count them out every year. The 49ers are right there every fucking year. It's just, I think it's mainly because we both hate the Eagles so fucking much, and we just really would rather see the 49ers there. That is it for the preseason picks. Guys, we have a huge season ahead of you all that will end with a 4th championship for your boy over here. But anyways,
I'm not even gonna let you try and have that outro. Fuck you.
Like I said, we have a whole bunch more videos besides just the picks happening this year, and the picks are going to be different this year. It's going to be a whole different season, so I hope you guys are ready for season 4 of Nick's Picks. If you are, be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you can be notified every time one of these new videos comes out. And Ben, I hope you are ready for season 4. Is there anything you want to say to the people before you go on to lose your 4th straight?
Go Falcons, we got this, baby. Come on, another Desmond Ritter MVP. No, I'm just kidding.
I don't know what's a worse take. You having the Falcons at 11-6, or you thinking that you're gonna win a Knicks Picks for once? Bye, guys. See how I flipped the table there? Now I'm the asshole who gets to be like, bye, guys, at the end, with you being like, yes, the tables have turned. Knicks Picks season 4. Ending it.
Oh. I was going to say, so you can say bye now. Yes. Weight off my shoulder.